beautiful people, and welcome back. So this is part 2 of my March video. In the first one I was talking about this Russia and Ukraine situation, and I thought I'm going to split this video in two, otherwise it would have been too much information in one go and like too chaotic kind of. So in this video I will be talking about the energies of March 2022, and as I said already, I have a channel message from source which I'm going to share with you as well. So we all know what is happening right now. We all know about these very confusing energies, but let's talk about the astrological aspects a little bit, and that might give us a better overview about what is going on now and why these things are happening now. So March 2022 is a very interesting month because it's the only month the whole year where there's no planets in retrograde. So there's this energy of movement, of going forward and going forward with passion without any roadblock. So it's a very positive and very encouraging energy, even though we know that certain things are not beautiful in the world now. On the contrary. But I think that is not a coincidence either that this whole thing it started to play out at the end of the month. And I talked about that already, end of February. And they might escalate in March even further because the energies are supporting movement. They are supporting accomplishment. So if there's anything that we want to put energy into now, that is going to be supported. And unfortunately, that can be true for negative and destructive things as well. So these people that are orchestrating this, I will say it again, they know very well what they are doing and why they are doing it right now. So we have a new moon on the 2nd of March in Pisces. So very soon, that will be a good opportunity for the starting of a new cycle. And on the 3rd of March, there's a very interesting conjunction, a conjunction of 3 planets, because Venus and Mars are conjuncting Pluto on the 3rd of March. So we have 3 planets that are conjuncting, and this is an extremely intense astrological event. And the energy around this has been building up, I would say, for the past 2-3 weeks already. And I think it is reaching its tipping point now, or it has already kind of reached its tipping point. We will see. But all I can say is that Venus is the planet of beauty, is the planet of harmony, but it's also the planet of manifestation, is the planet of the finances as well. So Venus is about what we want to achieve, and then Mars is about taking action. So Mars is about how we are achieving those things that we want. It is about how we go after what we would like to manifest, what we would like to achieve. So when Mars and Venus are conjuncting each other, that's a good period of time to put your dreams into action because the energies are supporting. But when Pluto comes in picture and when Pluto aligns with that conjunction, then the intensity of this is increasing tenfold. And Pluto is a very, very powerful planet in that sense. It is the destroyer. I talked about that many times. It is also the collective power. It is the will of the universe. And the energies will be even further amplified because of the new moon as well that is happening on the 2nd. So we have these 3 powerful planets conjuncting, plus we have the new moon, and that is setting the stage for something that we want to achieve. That is setting the stage for something to go after what we really want. However, when there is a new moon, there is also darkness that is symbolizing darkness. And that is setting the stage also for negative things, as I said. So those things can be either positive or negative, and it's up to us where we are really putting our energy. So first, Pluto and Venus were aligned on the 11th of December 2021. And then second time on the 24th of December 2021, and this is the 3rd and the final alignment. And this alignment in such a short period of time is happening very rarely. So it is really drawing our attention to our relationships with ourselves, because Pluto is about power. It represents power. And then Venus represents our relationship dynamics with others, and not only with others, but with ourselves and with our finances as well, our relationship with money. So this period will be about a little bit of a power struggle with other people and relationship dynamics, as I said, but then in terms of our finances and in terms of our money as well. So it will highlight everything related to our relationships with other people and with money, everything that is out of balance, everything that is out of alignment. So it will call us to either step back and to surrender that control, to surrender that power, or to rise up and take our power back if we haven't done it before. So I believe that it is not a coincidence that all those problems with bank accounts are happening all around the world, that people's bank accounts are being frozen. It is happening in Canada as well, but not necessarily only there. So it is a call for action and to pay attention to where we are spending our money and how we are handling our finances. It is a time for making alterations where it is being needed and to take our power back. And then on the 18th of March, we have full moon in Virgo, and that is a great opportunity for purging, for releasing what we no longer wish to carry into the new astrological year, because shortly after that, on the 20th of March, we have an equinox, and that is the beginning of a new astrological year. Again, a very, very powerful period. It is a very high vibration, an opportunity to bring things back into balance. And because we have the full moon as well in that period of time, that is a point of release. So we can release what really no longer serves. And then also Neptune will be very, very active during this full moon and during this equinox. And Neptune is the planet of illusions sometimes. So that can really boost our spiritual powers. It can boost our intuition and spiritual insight. But it can also cloud things. It can also make it harder for us to see the truth and to see what is really going on. So it's important to use our intuition at this time. And again, tune into our heart frequency, because that will show us the way. And there's a spiritual war that is taking place. It is not in between countries. It is not anyone to be blamed from this country and other country, because ultimately the innocent people are suffering for whatever is being orchestrated. But this is a spiritual war and also a distraction from the realization of those spiritual powers and energies. It is a suppression of that. And I do believe that March will be a month of awakening all around the world. And that will be further intensified in April. And I don't want to get into what is going to happen in April astrologically, because I will be talking about that. But I can say that in terms of the planets, there will be a conjunction that will support a huge wave of spiritual awakening. So beautiful things are ahead, but awakenings are quite tough. They are very messy. And yeah, this is what humanity is going through right now. This is what we have to do for this integration, for this transcendence. And of course, those that don't want this to happen, they will do everything to suppress those spiritual energies and to put a lot of emphasis and draw our attention to the material, to what is happening on the 3D level, to what is happening that is concerning the body, not the soul. So I was already saying in my video about the compilation of different frequency levels of different people, where humanity is standing right now in terms of energies. And I got something between 175 and 200, so the level of pride and level of courage. So in the past 2 months, humanity went up a lot energetically compared to where we were last year, which was the level of fear. So humanity has woken up to the realization of its own personal and spiritual powers. And you notice whenever we are taking that leap and we are waking up, there's a counter force that is dragging us back to those low vibrational levels, the levels of survival. and the levels of victimhood. So this is what is happening exactly now. However, this time they are not really succeeding because we are still at the level of courage as of today. So whatever they are planning, I mean, we know what they are planning, is not going to work out. And we have to have that in our minds and to see that we have come so far in the past 2 years. We have almost come this full circle. And there will be more and more people who will wake up. All right, so let me share the message that I received from Source, and then we will check the energies of March. I will do a card reading. So this channeled message is from Source from the 27th of February 2022 about the energies of March. My lovely children, as the times of the initiation of your souls are here, you will find your minds wandering in turmoil about your existence and your path. I want you to know that it is safe to reach your arms out for the love of the Creator, to reach out for guidance and let yourself be the source of this light. This light will assist your brothers and sisters to become aware and awake to their own light. Your reaching out a helping hand to those that are in need is equal with offering them the light of God that is within all of you, with no exception. And when you offer your own light, others will become aware of their own perfection and beauty within. When you have come to the earth plane, you have equipped yourself with the light and all the tools within you that will guide you on your journey. Your protection within has offered you all that you need, all that you will be integrating along the way. And now you are moving closer to your mission, the mission of the soul, the mission of God. And what you have selected yourself for now is being presented to you. So do not be afraid. Do not hesitate to connect to the godliness within you. These are those times when your light is shining, and it is showing the way to those that have forgotten about their own, that have wandered for too long, looking for resolution, forgetting that the resolution has been with them all along, because the resolution is the light of God. It is your own light, the light of all that is and all that has ever been. Do not be afraid to accept the light and to show others what is within you, so they can remember that is within them too. This is your mission in the month of March. This is your request for yourself. This is the love of God that you are all searching for. This is what is your savior, because it will show you that there is nothing to be saved from, but from the confusion of your own minds. All your brothers and sisters will have this realization of the illusion of their minds that has been used as a weapon against yourselves. Yes, lovely child, you have used it against your own volition. It is time to make peace with yourselves. It is time to put those weapons down, because as within, so without. Okay, so this was a source message, and what source is telling us is that when we make peace with ourselves, then the world will mirror back that peace as well, because the weapons that are really damaging for us are our own minds, and we are using our own minds against ourselves. So when we manage to take control over our minds and we gain clarity, then that will happen externally as well. There will be no external source that will cause confusion, because as within, so without. It is time for us to put that weapon down. And there's no external force that is acting as our savior. We are our own saviors, and the light within us is our savior. And when we accept that light and we act as a source of that light, because we are source as well, we have the imprint of source. We are fragments of source, And when we start to act as the light, then that will show us that there's nothing to be saved from, but from our own minds. And no external force can save us, but we are the ones that can save us from our own minds. So yeah, it's beautiful because it talks about the illusion of the mind that is causing all the problems in the world. And this is something that they are using now against us. So it is time for us to really respond to this differently and to take control over our thoughts. Because when there's peace within, there will be peace without as well on the external world. That will bring peace. And this war is a manifestation of the war that is within us, that is happening internally. Okay, let's pull a few cards and yeah, let's see what energies will be dominant in March. I will pull a few tarot cards and let's see what is that we need to work on. What can we expect? Because these are kind of tough times for humanity and this still requires some inner work, some inner integration. 1 second, because the cards are flying. So first I will ask, what is that we still need to work on, both collectively and individually as well, because they are all interconnected. And then we will check what can we expect in March as well. Oh, Source, please. What is that we need to work on in March? What is that humanity needs to work on still in March? All right, I have the 5 of Swords, that is upright. I have the 8 of Swords reversed, the 5 of Cups reversed, and then the 3 of Cups upright. Okay, let me think a little bit. So we have the 5 of Swords upright, and that is about conflict, and that is about war. So this is that conflict that I was talking about that is still within us. There is a conflict within us internally that is being reflected in the external world. This is something that we need to work on that internal conflict and to work on that integration of those fragmented pieces within us. And that work that we are putting into that, it will help us to liberate ourselves, because we have the 8 of Swords that is reversed as well. That is about liberation. That is about unstocking ourselves from those negative, toxic patterns of the mind. This is always about something that we know that is there. There is a lot of wisdom within us, but we are ignoring that wisdom for some reason, and we are keeping ourselves stuck. And that has to do with a lot of things from the past, a lot of things in the collective consciousness and the collective karma that we are clearing up right now. So there's a clearing up that is happening now, but it's happening first of all internally, and then is being reflected externally as well. So we are revisiting the past and the past traumas and the generational traumas that have been caused by many conflicts in the world, by wars, by this inner conflict that was playing out externally. We are revisiting patterns from like 80 years ago as well. And now we can respond differently. We can say that we no longer want that. We don't want that anymore. We are much better than that. So there is a need for forgiveness, because the 5 of Cups reversed came out as well. And that is about forgiveness. That is about moving on. There's a need still for forgiving the past. Humanity still needs to forgive lots of things from the past. And first of all, we need to forgive ourselves, because that will be healing as well. And we have the 3 of Cups. That is about teamwork and support. So we need to unite our powers. And this is something that we are learning as well with this situation. We are revisiting, as I said, the same situation from the time of the Second World War, where the same group of people was pulling the strings, and the same group of people was supporting both sides with money. They were sponsoring both sides because they wanted us to be divided. This is what we are revisiting right now as well. And we have to see really who is the real enemy. So this is a lesson for humanity to come together again in unity, in love, responding with compassion to what is happening, and not with division, not to buy into the propaganda that wants to divide us, that wants to separate us. So yeah, it is forgiveness, it is healing, it is revisiting the past and working on past traumas. So this is just a manifestation of that, really, of that inner work. But I think we have integrated so much. And I received a channel message from the Venusians yesterday as well, and they were talking about that as well, that we have come so far. We had made such a big progress, and that's why we need to celebrate. We need to celebrate our own progress and not to buy into this pain and this sadness that is present right now, because that is not helping anyone. So I will put back these cards and I will shuffle the deck again, and let's ask about where we are going. I mean, what can we expect in March? What is that we can expect in March 2022? Source, please tell us, what is that we can expect? Oops, so many cards again. So we have the Seven of Cups reversed. We have Temperance upright. And we have the Ace of Wands that is reversed. All right, and bottom of the deck, Nine of Swords reversed. Yes, again, this feeling of liberation in March, I feel like. Liberation, like internal liberation that can be reflected externally as well, because the Nine of Swords is about anxiety, and being reversed is indicating the end of anxiety and this feeling of new hope, recovery, new hope in the air. That will be dominant, I feel like, in March. And then we have the Seven of Cups that was reversed, and then we have the Temperance that was upright. And Temperance is about harmony, is about balance, is about gaining control over our minds and our thoughts. And I feel like this is what will start happening in March. And we will gain much more clarity about what is going on, because that is the Seven of Cups reversed. Remember, Seven of Cups upright is about too many choices, not knowing which way to go, not knowing whether to prioritize the material or the spiritual. And humanity will gain clarity about that, what is important. So a lot more harmony, a lot more clarity will be coming in March about what is happening right now as well. And I feel like this propaganda is not going to work. People will see through the lies. However, there will be attempts for this new false start, because that is the Ace of Wands reverse. It is a false start. It's about dishonesty. It's about not using that passionate power like properly, not channeling that passionate power properly. It can be about delays as well. So there might be some delays in what we are waiting to happen, because there's this counterforce, remember. And the next card is actually the Ace of Pentacles. This keeps coming out, and that is about finances. That is about a new income, a new project. So something definitely related to finances will start playing out in the world, I feel like. And in our personal lives as well. That I said that March is an opportunity for taking control over our finances, because we have Venus and we have Pluto as well that are playing a very big part in that. Okay, let's see, anything else? The next card, the Justice that is reversed. Justice might not come in the world like straight away. There might be delays, and that's why probably we had the Ace of Wands that was reversed. So short term, I said it already, there might not be justice. We will still have to deal with this counterforce. But at the moment that we have dealt with the counterforce within us, then this counterforce that is external will disappear, will lose power. So let's pull some oracle cards as well from this other deck. What else is going with this reading, Spirit? Source, because we are asking Source. I'm channeling the energies of Source. So what else is going with this reading, please? What else we can expect in March 2022? Anxiety reversed. The World reversed. Hostilities. Wow. So we can still expect some aggression and some violence in the world, but that will also act as a catalyst for an awakening to the truth. Basically, the world can be upside down, like literally. we will be having an upside down world for a while in March as well. But that is something that has to happen because this anxiety is reversed. So that means that this anxiety will start disappearing because we will start seeing the truth. So this hostility, this aggression, this violence is happening with a purpose again. It's happening for us to get this upside down world, to get completely lost so we can find ourselves again and we can get out from this state of anxiety, from this state of worrying and fear and all those low vibrational emotions. And I'm also getting that the word upside down means actually a different perspective, seeing things like from the other side completely, like from a perspective that we have never seen. Yeah, it's the energies are clearing up, but there's some chaos first. There's no clearing up without chaos. Sometimes when you're cleaning up the mess, like you're cleaning your room, you're cleaning your house, sometimes your room, your place looks even more chaotic than it looked before. Or for example, when you want to sort out things in your wardrobe, first you will take everything out and there will be a big mess there. But you need to see that big mess in order to see what needs to be sorted out, so you can put things back together in a nice and in a clean and neat way. And this is what is happening right now as well. Before that cleanup, that emotional cleanup, things will get very messy. But we are sorting out the pieces. I'm gonna get another card from this oracle deck. So, source, please tell us what else we have to know about March 2022. High Priest, intend and create. That's so interesting that the High Priest comes out again about this situation. 1 second, let me just see what is in the guidebook. The High Priest. Recognize that you have the power to change your life, face your fear, and align with the light. The light again. In many traditions, the High Priest is the physical embodiment of the divine masculine. He acts as a bridge between worlds and is able not only to divine the future, but to help create it too. He may be a leader in his spiritual tradition or in pagan traditions, be second to the High Priestess, but he is always spiritually connected and disciplined, with great respect for his creator and his particular practice. You are a bridge between heaven and earth, and it's important for you to know that you are more powerful and connected than you may think. Everything you are giving attention and energy to at this time is creating your way forward. There have been some setbacks, but accept these experiences that have led you to a deeper understanding of yourself and your spirit. Know that you are being guided by the ancestors to direct your thoughts and energies towards what you want to grow, heal, and expand. And then watch it happen right before your eyes. Yes. This is asking us to pay attention to where we are giving our attention and energy, because we have so much power and our thoughts are so powerful that we can create what we want, but we can also create what we don't want. So this is a reminder for us to really take control of our minds. And these setbacks which humanity is experiencing, and we will still experience probably in March as well, will lead us to a deeper understanding, will lead people to a deeper understanding. And this is also helping us to integrate that divine masculine as well, which is within us. Not only the divine feminine, but then the divine masculine too, and to create balance. So there are some nice energies ahead as well, but there will be some setbacks in March. But it's up to us how we respond to it again. We have the power. We are so powerful. And whatever we are putting our attention to, that will grow. It will grow before our eyes. It will manifest. And I'm getting that, and it was in the message as well, that we are being guided by our ancestors. So what I'm getting right now is that actually our ancestors that have been through wars, that have been through turmoils and conflicts in the world, they are actually helping us. There are some versions of ourselves in different timelines existing simultaneously that have experienced this kind of conflict in the world and these kind of energies. So one thing is sure, and that is that we will not respond in the same way to this as we did back in 2020 and as we did back in the 1940s. That will not happen. We have changed. We will not buy into that mass hypnosis and mass psychosis any longer. No. And actually, I know that I did have a past life where I was from the Soviet Union or something like that. Once it came through my hypnotherapy like a few years ago, that I was fighting against the Germans. So we did have, many of us had past lives as well in that period. Many people had past lives at the time of the Holocaust. The same exact people were controlling the narrative as they are doing now, the same families. We will not respond in the same way. That will not happen. We are over that. Okay, guys, so this is what I wanted to say. If this resonated, then you can feel free to subscribe. You can share this message with others as well. And then you can check out my Patreon. And thank you everybody who is supporting me on my Patreon as well. It is making me so happy. And that community is growing slowly, slowly. So take care, everyone. And I cannot wait to see you next time.